Guys, I'm ruined. I don't think that I can go back to regular skiing or splitboarding gear after this. I really haven't been into mountain hardware products, and it's really because I didn't like their logo. But this has all changed, and I want to show you why in this video. While this is sponsored, I'm going to be showing not only the pros, but also the cons out of their latest ski kit. You know how you buy some products and you always just wish that there was a pocket here or a vent there. There's always just something missing on the product. You almost ask yourself,
will the company even test this out in real life?
I can tell you that is something Mountain Hardwear probably did with their high exposure and their Boundary Ridge kits. From what I can tell, there is an experienced crew that knows what they're doing in designing these products. And as consumers, that is exactly what we want. Let's begin with the high exposure kit. Now, this is my splitboard specific kit, and that's simply because it's very light and has a lot of very unique features that splitboarders or backcountry skiers are going to love. Now, this kit is Rico approved, it's got Gore Tex, and it also has a really unique little snap and loop integration. Let's start with the bibs. First of all, these are extremely light. And now when I compare these to the bibs that I was rocking splitboarding before, I can't even believe I was using those. Once I jumped into these, there's no way that I can go back. The really huge pro with these bibs is that they have a zippable back door. So essentially, if nature calls when you're out on the skin track, if you don't have this back door feature, you have to strip off all of your clothing in order to relieve yourself. That means taking off your backpack, your coat, your layers over the bibs, and then finally taking your bibs all the way down. With this feature, you literally just unzip your back door and you're good to go. So for the females out there, this is gonna be great as well. And also this back door doubles as vents. But again, this is one of the many things that I'm gonna be talking about in this video where the producers of this product really have nailed this stuff down to somebody that's in the backcountry.
I do wish that the bottoms of these pants had like a zipper to fit over snowboard boots a little bit better. Because as you can see right there, not that good. It's kind of hard to get them over your boots when you're super cold.
Next, we'll go with the high exposure coat. Now, I absolutely love this color. It's not a bright yellow. It's more of a kind of what we call back in the Midwest, a cab shit yellow. I love this golden look to it. And I think it pairs great with these black snow pants. This jacket is light enough to hike with. I have a Patagonia shell that I will take with me if I'm doing a thru hike in Colorado, if I'm doing something in Wyoming during monsoon season, because those are seasons where you probably still need to make miles during your day, but you don't want to get soaked at the same time. Now, on the Colorado Trail, I experienced it where I had a really cheap raincoat, which was a Frog Togs that got shredded by the end of it, but also it would just leak through. It was nothing compared to an actual shell. This shell might actually go and replace my Patagonia Torrent shell because of how light it is and because of the simple fact that it has Gore Tex in it. The two best features that I'm so stoked about is the fact that it has dedicated pockets to put your skins in. For those people that don't know, a lot of times you're gonna be transitioning at the top to ride mode and you need a place to put your skins. Now, typically what I would always do is I would have to wear bibs. In other words, if I wasn't wearing bibs to stuff my skins in, I would have to put my skins in my backpack. And for me, that's just inefficient. I would rather have them on me instead of my bag so I could just go in there, grab it at the end of the run, put them on instead of having to take my bag off and do all that type of stuff. Because of these skin pockets in the jacket, if it's in the spring and it's too warm for bibs, you can just wear soft shell pants and you can still do the same thing where you put these into your jacket without having to wear bibs. I absolutely love that feature. The next thing too is that the hood around this jacket will fit around not only your head, obviously, but your helmet too. This is a huge deal for me when I'm in the backcountry because my previous shell to this, which was again that Patagonia Torrent shell, I can't actually put the hood up over it when I have a helmet on. I can put it when I have a hat on, that's great, but I can't do it when I have a helmet on. And a lot of times when I'm in the backcountry and if I'm doing laps and it's cold, I don't want to keep taking my helmet off, putting it on my bag. You can kind of sense a theme here. I want to be efficient. And this is one of the best ways. This is just a giant hood and it will go straight over your helmet and protect you from the elements. Now the second kit here is called the Boundary Ridge. And this is more of a resort centered kit. I don't do much resort skiing relative to what I do splitboarding, but here's what I can say about the gear from where I've used it. So overall, this kit is a little bit heavier than the high exposure kit, but it would still work if you were doing something uphill. But I do think it's a little bit better in the resort because of the heaviness, and also because of a couple missing features in this kit versus the other one. So for example, let's talk about the jacket. The jacket's great because again, you could put a hood over the helmet. When you're in the resort, a lot of times it's almost colder doing resort skiing or snowboarding because you're constantly riding a chairlift up to the top of the run, and then you're going downhill. You're not going uphill and then downhill like you would be with splitboarding. So this hood over the helmet feature, great. It also has a pocket on the arm that you can put your ski pass in. Especially in the Western United States, you have to walk past these sensors in order to get onto a lift. A lot of times it won't go off. It's deep in your pocket. So it's really nice to have this easily accessible on your arm to where you can put your arm over and scan it. It's also got an inner skirt, which is very common among jackets like this, and it also has inside pockets. I tried fitting my skins into these to see if it would actually fit, and you can make it work if you wanted to. I still think that the high exposure jacket is going to be far superior to putting your skins in there because it's actually a dedicated pocket. In a pinch, and probably with the ski touring kit over a splitboarding kit, you probably could put your skins in there. Although, again, I think that it's not as good as the high exposure jacket. Go to the bibs here. The bibs are such a great color. Again, I'm a really big fan of this dark gold or brown color, and I really like it. There's a ton of pockets on this bad boy. There's a front pocket, there's side pockets, just great for storing all of your stuff. There's also the side vents, and what's really clever is that there's a spot here for the men to relieve themselves. Again, that's making sure that you don't have to take all your layers off in order to just take a whiz. The biggest con for me with these bibs is the side zip entry. I'm not a fan of it for whatever reason. It takes me a couple times to actually get into the bibs, which could totally be my own fault, but I think that the high exposure bibs are superior to these unless you're looking for something that's a little bit heavier and gonna be for a colder day. And then they have the Core Alloy pants. I'm not sure if I would wear these all the time when I'm splitboarding just because of the fact that I oftentimes overheat, but definitely in the resort. I also really like that they have reinforcement on the butt and the knees because let's face it, I am really hard on my gear and those are two places that they usually wear out. Now I think this is a fantastic base layer, particularly because you can also wear it outside of just its general use as a base layer. You could just wear it around town or wear it to the gym. However, for me, if I had not gotten these for free, I would not be paying $200 for something like this. That being said, mountain hardware is expensive, and that is something that has to be touched on with this video. However, besides that, I think the other products in this lineup are definitely worth the money. And the reason is because number one, their functionality, but also because Mountain Hardwear has a reputation for being extremely durable. I can tell you from experience, I've had these older bibs for about two and a half years or so, and they're getting holes in it. They have different rips in different areas. They just don't last that long. And what I can tell you about these expensive products from companies is that they stand behind them and they really do make them durable. The thing that always rings around in my head is buy once, cry once. If I did not get these products, I would have already had to buy another pair of bibs probably next season because these only lasted me for a couple. And I think that's what you're buying into with Mountain Hardwear is the investment into a product that's number one going to keep you comfortable for a long period of time so you can stay out there longer, but then also perform well and have the features that you need to function properly when you're in the backcountry or at a resort. Please leave a like and subscribe and keep building.